Hello friends, welcome to our channel Explain Things Around and our course Learn C Programming A to Z. So before we start, if you have not yet subscribed to our channel, please click on the subscribe button. Today we'll learn about two important keywords available in C, continue and break. So far we have learned about different type of statements available in C. We have learned about sequential statements. We have learned about conditional statements including decision control statements or case statements, and we have learned about loops available in C. We have covered number of keywords so far. We have learned about keywords related with data type declaration. We have learned keywords related with conditional statements. We have learned keywords related to functions and many more. And today we will cover continue and break keywords also. So there are sometimes when we have created a loop and we come across a situation when we need to skip some statements inside the loop. So suppose inside the loop we are performing 10 different actions multiple times. So that is taken care inside the loop. But based on some conditions, we need to skip 3 or 4 actions out of those. Or based on some condition, we need to completely halt that loop. That also we can come across the situations. So based on the need, we can use continue or break keywords. So there are two different categories, there are two different requirements. One is we need to skip some statements inside the loop, that is requirement 1, and for that we use continue keyword. And the second is we need to completely terminate the loop. Immediately we need to terminate that loop even without going to test expression. So that is requirement 2. So for that we use break keyword. So let me show you the flow diagram. So suppose your loop starts from here and you have statement 1, 2, 3. You have different actions there, and after that you have statement 4 and 5. So inside this, if you need to perform action 4 and 5 based on some conditions, then you can put the condition on top of that and you can use continue. So if that condition is satisfied, statement 4 and 5 will be skipped. It will pointer control will go back to the start of the loop. If that condition is not satisfied, then only it will continue with the statement 4 and 5 also. And but opposite to this, but totally different scenario, we can say in case of break, if the condition is satisfied and break keyword gets encountered, control will come out of the loop. It will go to statement 6 in this case. It will skip the loop. It will not go inside that loop again. Whereas when we use continue keyword, control goes back to the loop again, skipping statement 4 and 5. For the next iteration, it may or may not execute statement 4 and 5 based on the condition again. So if this condition keep on getting satisfied, chances are statement 4 and 5 will not get executed in the next iteration as well. So that is totally condition dependent. Whereas in case of break, once the break gets encountered, this loop total loop will not get executed at all. Control will come outside of the loop. There are again different scenarios. Suppose we are talking here only on the scope of single loop. So if you are using nested loop, these controls, these keywords will work only on that particular loop. So for example, if you use break keyword, the control will come out only of the first loop. It will not come out of the outer loop. To come out of the outer loop, you need to use break keyword inside of those loops as well. Similarly, continue. So this will skip statement 4 and 5 just inside that loop. It will not have any impact on the outer loops. So let's create few demo programs. We'll understand in detail how it works. So let's get into dev C++ and we'll create a new source file. Let me save it as demo program. So we'll start with hash include. stdio dot h. This is to include your standard input output header file. Then we call our entry point, we call from our main function. Let's first create a loop which will simply print numbers from 1 to 10. So I am taking a counter variable I, and I am using for loop I equal to 1, I less than equal to 10, I plus plus. Inside this, let me perform 2 3 activity. Let's say printf the value of I is percentage %d, and here let me map I variable. After this, let me say, let's enter new line character also here. Okay. After this, let's say you are on line 2. Similarly, let's add one more line and say you are on line 3. And outside of this loop, let's say you are out of loop. You are out of loop. Okay. So let's run this and see what kind of output we get. So I compiled it. There is no error. And now let's run it. So you see here you are on line, the value of I is 1, you are line 1. Okay, let me put slash in here also. I skip this value every time. So I have saved it. Let me compile and run it again. Okay, yeah, so now you see, so it starts with the value of I is 1, then you are on line 2, then line 3, then value of I is 2, line 3, value of I is 3, line 2, line 3. So this gets printed 10 times as we expected. Now let's assume, based on some condition, you don't want to print this line 2 and 3 just for that particular condition. So in that case, let's say when the value of I is even. Let's take that example. For even numbers, you don't want to print line 2 and line 3. So how can we check? We'll divide that number by 2 and see if the remainder is 0, right? So if I percentage 2 equal to 0, that means the remainder of I divided by 2 is 0. In that case, we'll use continue keyword. So as we know, when the continue keyword will get encountered, line 2, 3, these two statements after the continue should get skipped and control should go back to the for loop. So let's see how it works. I'm compiling and running it again. Yeah, so if you see now, for the value of I1, which is odd number, 2 and 3 got printed. And the value of I is 2, even number, line 2 and 3 didn't get printed. Again, line value of 3, odd number, line 2 and got printed. For value of I4, even number, line 2 and 3 didn't get printed. So here you can clearly see loop is running. All the activities of this loop are happening, but only thing is whenever this condition is getting satisfied, whenever number is even, whenever the continuous statement is getting encountered, these two lines are getting skipped, these two lines are not getting processed. So you can understand here the increment part, test expression part, all these things are keep on happening, nothing is getting stopped. Only thing is whenever based on the condition continue keyword is getting encountered, statements within that loop are after the continue keyword are getting skipped. So this is how we can use continue statement in any real-time problem. So whenever based on the condition, this is not value, it can be coming out of any calculation, out of any derivation, and you might be willing to check that before moving to the next statements. So if those conditions get satisfied, then only you need to perform next activity inside that loop. So you can use continue keyword, attaching the condition on top of that. So let's see the use of break statement now, and we'll notice how break is different from keyword. So same example, in place of continue, I am simply writing break, and let's see what happens. I compiled it, no error, no warning. Let's run it. So you see here the value of I is 1. Line 2 and line 3 got printed because that is not an even number. So this condition didn't get satisfied. When it came to value of I is 2, since this is an even number, our test expression gets satisfied and it goes to break. So because of break, not only these two lines get skipped, full this loop itself got terminated and control came out of the loop. Next line out of just next line out of the loop, and you are out of the loop statement got printed. So if you see here, you are out of the loop, that statement got printed after the value of I is 2. So this is how break and continue are different. So whenever you want to hard stop your loop without considering the test case given inside the loop, you want to hard terminate your loop inside it based on some condition, you can use the break keyword. Another thing to know, continue and break keywords, these are not just specific to for loop. You can use this with the while loop, with the do while loop as well. Even break, this can be used with your switch case structure as well. We learned in our previous videos, we learned in our previous sessions how we can use break statement. So break is simply whenever it gets encountered inside any brace structure, it sends control out of that. So here, whenever break will get encountered, control will come out of this loop and it will, whatever next line is there, it will go there. So in case of, as we said, this is single loop. In case of nested loop, this break keyword will only terminate this loop. It will not terminate the outer loop. Let me show you that also. So let me put another loop on top of this. I am creating another counter, let's say J, just for our demo purpose. So I'll start J again, J also, J is equal to 1 and J less than equal to 5, J plus plus. So I am creating one loop, okay, and I want that loop to run 5 times, and inside that I am doing this activity, okay. So let me print the value of J as well. So the value of J comma I is percentage d. Let me print J as well. So now first J will get printed, so inside that, and after that I will get printed. So let me say this was in loop I, and outside of this loop, let me say here, this one is your out of loop J. Okay, let me use notification counter on itself as a notification. So I am saying this one as loop I, this one as loop J. Okay, so since uh, J is for 1 to 5, so this loop will run 5 times. So inside that, what we are doing, this printing activity, all these things should happen 5 times. So even though this gets stopped because of the break, but this outer loop will still run. So let me show you. I am compiling and running it. So let's see what is the output. So you remember earlier it got halted just after printing line 2 and it said you are out of loop. But this time it will say you are out of loop I again and again, but again it will start. So let me use backslash n also as a new line character. So I'm saving it, I'm compiling and run it again. So you will see. So you see here, you can dry run here. So if you see the value of j and I, 2 comma 1, you are on line 2, you are on line 3, then value of j comma 2 comma 2, you are on line, you are on line 1. So here it is even number. So when it came even number, you see here you are out of loop I. Again it went to next one. You see it went to 3. Value of j moved and now we are at 3. Again 1. So it printed 2 and 3. Again the value of I became 2. So it stopped. It came out of loop I. Then it moved to 4. You see here, right? 1. For 1 value of j1 it printed 1 and 2. Again for value of j2 it printed 1 and 2. Again for value of j3 it printed 1 and 2. Again for value of j4 it printed 1 and 2. It is coming out of loop again. Every time when it encounters 2 it is coming out of loop I. It is not coming out of loop j. It is coming only after once the value of j is 5, and that's what we expected. So this is how break works. Same is the case for continue also. If continue gets encountered, that will skip the lines after that only inside that loop, and it will move the cursor, it will move the control to the inside that particular loop. Now it will not have any impact on the outer loop. So you can create more videos around, you can create more programs around it just for your practice purpose. Create different scenarios and try to see how break and continue keywords are working on that, how they are impacting your output, so that will get more clear. So if you like this video, if you got any understanding about break and continue keywords, share it with your friends, help everyone. Thanks for watching. If you have not yet subscribed to our channel, please click on subscribe button. Thank you. Thanks for watching. And also if you have any doubt, any question related to this, feel free to put that in comment box. We'll definitely reply on that. Thank you.